from the first local station with news and high definition. This is 9 News Now.
Well, our next guest is cooking up ideas to educate Americans about the Mexican culture. Cooking instructor Patricia Ginich is here from the Mexican Cultural Institute to explain, and a pleasure to have you here with us.
A pleasure to be here, Andrea.
I was telling you earlier, my first trip to Mexico was last September. I had a great time, but I know that people in the tourist industry are concerned because the slumping economy and then word of the violence with the drug cartels and Mexican authorities. Should we be concerned? Should we be afraid to go to Mexico?
Andrea. Definitely not. And at the Mexican Cultural Institute, we're trying to show all of the richness that Mexican culture has. You know, the food, the culture, the traditions. If you go down to Mexico, it's not only the food, it's the warmth, the hospitality. So the government is doing all that it can.
And annually, about 18 million Americans descend on Mexico every year. So I know
so
they'd
no
love
problems
to be able
at all
to do it.
to go to Mexico.
Be cautious. I think that's what the State Department's warning was. Not necessarily don't go at all, but just be cautious. Now, you were talking about at the Institute things that you're doing to help us get aware of what Mexico is really about. And it's so many things. You have different cooking sessions.
We do. We have a culinary program that's called Mexican Table. And what it is, it's a series on ongoing cooking demonstrations and tastings, and each one focuses on a different topic, be it a specific region, a holiday, or a theme. And we want to swing a window wide open into Mexico's culinary world.
All right, and you've swung it open on what you call Mexican chic. What's that?
Mexican chic. So that's the first session of this series. And what we're going to do is try to show what up-and-coming and adventurous cooks are doing with Mexican traditional ingredients. They're giving them a modern twist and coming up with really wonderful results. So I brought the Mexican hibiscus flowers, which are also called jamaica.
All right. This is the real flower.
This is the real flower. And it is a wonderful ingredient, Andrea, because it's just nothing here but dried, edible flowers, wholesome, filled with vitamin C and minerals.
I could pick one of these up and just munch on it.
And they smell beautiful. And traditionally, these have been used. What do you think? A little bit tart?
No, not a bit tart. Just flowers.
Well, they traditionally have been used to flavor water. The traditional thing to do is to cover these with water, simmer them, and then you have these, and then you drain them, and the liquid, which you just see how strong, how beautiful the color is, and then you just mix these with some sugar and some lime juice. This is about a cup full of sugar. It depends on your taste, but the jamaica flowers are tart, a little bit sour. They have a little bit of a cranberry flavor. So this just contrasts it. And with these, we traditionally make flour. We flavor water with these. For centuries, people have done so. But now we're going to take this concentrate and we're going to turn it into a delicious syrup to pour over teardrop.
Okay, and that's what's in
So this is what's in here. We took the jamaica concentrate, and then we add the rind of an orange, and we add like about 5 black peppercorns, a couple of cloves, a little bit of
sweet and tart here.
Nice sweet, and we're making a very interesting palette of flavors. And then some balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar, in the last decade, I think, Mexicans have really taken to balsamic vinegar. And an interesting thing about Mexican food, Andrea, is people think this is some chicken broth, homemade or store-bought. People think of Mexican food as burritos and quesadillas, and there's just so much more.
Right.
So we're going to simmer this down until it gets to a thick, syrupy consistency, just like this. And then this is ready. You can pour it on top of seared duck, which is what we have here. Now, the duck, I like to do duck for special occasions. You know, it sounds special.
It is special.
Sounds
Absolutely,
fancy.
yes.
And it's affordable these days.
And that's interesting, because you think of duck as something expensive, too.
Right, but you can find it year-round, and prices have gone down.
All right.
So then we have the seared duck. It has a really nice, thick, fat skin. People shouldn't worry about that.
You've scored the skin.
You score the skin, add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and what these will do is when we put it onto the pan, it will make all of the fat from under the skin and next to the meat just melt away.
Wow. We've got about 30 seconds, so we've got that in there.
So we're rushing in there.
We've pre-seared.
Yeah, we pre-seared this one. And then this one we just put in the oven for about, like 10 minutes. I have one in there.
There we go.
That we already cooked. And so we take it out, and I'm going to plate this one on top of some cooked spinach. This is the easiest thing to do. Just seared spinach with a little bit of pine nuts at the top, on top. And then we're just going to
she drizzles the sauce. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back. We'll have the opening numbers on Wall Street. Kim will give us a last check on the weather, and we will sample this beautiful duck dish. All right, we are sampling our wonderful duck meal. This is Mexican chic. And what do we have in addition to the duck?
So we have some homemade tamales with black beans and goat cheese.
Delicious, delicious, delicious. And the duck is over warm spinach and pine nuts.
And the Jamaica sauce and the goat cheese contrast really nicely with the tart flavor of it.
Thank you, and thank you for watching. The next news is at noon. Have a great day.